Hello friends and children, welcome to Home Tutor. This is your personal teacher Nipan. Let's go to the topic. In 8th Standard Civics, Chapter 1, we study about the Indian Constitution. Today we'll discuss the introduction about this chapter. Let's go to the topic. This chapter, the Indian Constitution, begins with giving some details about the rules and regulations of some important games. Basically, we know what is a football, and also most of the people know about the rules and regulations of football game too. Football is a game which is having the most number of fans all through the world. So most of the people have heard about football and also about how many people plays in a single team. As we hear the word football, we can identify that this game deals with feet. That is, the player will be handling the ball with the help of feet. So let's check what are the rules and regulations of football. In football, each player should touch the ball only with his leg. Only the goalkeeper has a right to touch the ball with his hand. So if any of the player who touches the ball with his hand other than the goalkeeper, then it will be a foul. So like that, if some players or any one of the player who starts to handle the ball with his hand, or if he pass the ball with the help of his hand, then he will be not playing football anymore, because according to the rules and regulations of football, nobody is allowed to touch the ball with hand, only it is allowed to touch with his foot. Similarly, other games like hockey, cricket, etc., they are also having rules and regulations for their own, and the players will be playing these games according to the particular rules assigned to each games. Thus, each game will be defined according to the rule that is mentioned to the particular game. And finally, it is easy for us to distinguish each game, that is one game from the other. So without any rules and regulations, no game is going to run properly. For the fundamental or smooth running of game, there should be definitely a group of or a set of rules that will be manipulating the particular game. So in order to constitute a game, there should be definitely a constitutive rules. Like these, that is the rules that is assigned in games. In the same way, we are also having certain rules and regulations in the society too. So the society is also having some constitutive rules that guides each individuals and the country, and also differentiate one society or one country from the other. That is, one society from the other society, one country from other country. This differentiation is particular only with the help of that particular constitutive rules. So when the society becomes much larger, and when there are much different communities of people who are living together, these rules will be formulated or guided through consensus. So what is a consensus? Consensus means a general agreement through which each people or each citizen of the country will be ruled, or they will be having a particular set of rules and regulations according to which they have to act. So when the society becomes larger, these rules will be formulated through consensus, and in modern countries, this consensus usually available in written form. So that set of agreement is available in a written form in modern country. That is, these consensus, that is a general agreement, is available in written form in our modern state or modern countries. So a written document in which we find such a rule is called a constitution. So simply we can say that a constitution is a written document in which we find some rules for the country. And another way, in an easy manner, we can say that constitution is the law of the particular land. So you have already studied about the Constitution of India in class 6 and 7 in the same social studies textbook, that is our social and political life. So in any instant, have you ever wondered or have you got interested in thinking that why we need a constitution, or been curious about how the constitution got written? Who wrote the constitution? Who made the constitution? What is a constitution? So have you asked this question in any instance? No. You are always busy to by heart each and each question and answer. That is it. So once the exam is finished, everything will be forgotten. That's it. So in this chapter, we will discuss about all these issues. That is, what is a constitution? Who had introduced this constitution to our country? Is it a written or a non-written one? What are the contents in the constitution? Then how the constitution have written by the people who are back of this, and who have preserved this constitution, etc. will be discussed in this chapter. Then another thing we'll be discussing is that the key features of the Indian Constitution. What are the main contents of the Constitution? In order to work a country like India in a democratic way, there should be a written constitution. So India has a constitution. And also in the next chapters, we will be discussing about the different contents of the constitution. So let's go and check what are the main contents that we have to study in this chapter. So let's go to the topics. Why does a country need a constitution? So let's go and check the answer. The International Congress was an association that was constituted on 25th December 1885. After that, it had its annual session on every December. So like that, in 1934 also, INC, that is International Congress, convened a meeting at Bombay, and the president of the International Congress during 1934 session was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, which was the 48th session of INC. So during 1934, the members of INC demanded for a Constituent Assembly for India. So India and Indians was in an urge for independence, and they wanted to be free from British rule. So let's discuss what is a Constituent Assembly. So a Constituent Assembly or a Constitutional Assembly is a body or assembly of elected representatives which is assembled for drafting a constitution for that particular country. So here Indians also wanted their representatives to make their own law for India. Then again, what is the main purpose of a Constituent Assembly? It is a representation of a democratic country. So the people of India wanted a democratic republic country where they have a set of rules to guide them. So for this purpose, the Indian National Congress in 1934 demanded a constituent assembly. I think now it is clear for you. So this was only a beginning of demand for a constituent assembly by people, and the British government gave less importance for a constituent assembly in India. During the Second World War too, the Indians were confident and believed that they will get an independent constituent assembly, but it was constrained or restricted among the Indian itself, because the thought for a constituent assembly was restrained among the Indians itself. Finally, after a long period of struggle, in December 1946, the Constituent Assembly for India was convened. The Constituent Assembly had its representatives from all parts of India, and it took more than 2 years, that is between December 1946 to November 1949, to draft the Constitution of independent India. So after 150 years of British rule, the Constituent Assembly draft the fruit of freedom struggle, that is the Constitution of India, with great idealism. In this photo, you can see the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru addressing the Constituent Assembly. And you can also see a lot of members in the Constituent Assembly who helped in drafting the Constitution of India. So now we are winding up the introduction part of the Constitution. So in next part, we'll be dealing about the main contents of the Constitution. Then what are the important points that we have to remember while we deal with the concept or term Constitution. Then who have written the Constitution, and what were the main points taken from different countries to constitute our Constitution, etc. So please watch, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell icon too. Thank you very much. Bye.